Our story focuses on the little town of Brownsville, situated right below the earthen dam that creates Brownsville Lake. Sam Adams maintains the dam. His wife Abby is great with child. Steve Brannigan is the local helicopter pilot, and Nurse Daisy at the hospital is his girlfriend. Paul Burke is his friend who's also a pilot. Paul is engaged to Mary Cutler, another nurse at the hospital. Mary's dad is the mayor who likes to praise himself for saving the town from extinction. But he's in trouble. He's been hiding an engineer's report that says the dam is unsafe. Paul is calling him on it because heavy rains in the mountains above the lake have raised the water level to the point of spilling over the top of the dam and creating leaks all up and down the structure. If they can't get the spillway open soon, the dam will burst and destroy the whole town. There's a problem with the spillway controls, so Steve is going to try and yank it open with a cable and his helicopter. There's too much silt and debris built up against the spillway doors. If the doors open the right way, which is to say downstream, I wouldn't think it should be that big a problem. But going by what we've seen of the mayor's shenanigans, he may have gotten a special deal on some that open the wrong way. Whatever the case, that cable is about to break, and Steve doesn't need it tangling his rotor. Most guys don't.
That was our final hope. What do we do now? Keep sandbagging and filling the cut. Thank God Abby's in the hospital. Get those bulldozers moving. We'll help.
Except Abby isn't in the hospital. She was about to go there when she had some sudden crippling abdominal pains. She's on the floor at home and can't reach the phone. Sam doesn't know that. Nobody does. Welcome to the world before cell phones.
John.
Where are you going?
I've been trying to reach you and Mary ever since the siren. The hospital doesn't answer and your phone has been busy. And I don't know where Andy is.
Andy is their preteen son. He pretty well has the run of the town. Everybody knows him and he likes to hang out near the dam. He was the first one to think about raising an alarm. Richard Basehart is the mayor. And once this is over, I recommend you cleanse your palate with your favorite episode of Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, because you're gonna despise this guy. That's one of the hazards of being a legendary actor.
John, I've got to know where Andy is.
All right. I'll go look for him.
I'm going with you.
He keeps trying to tell her the sirens don't mean anything, and she's not buying it. He still won't admit that this is really happening.
Hello?
It's gonna go, Mr. Cutler.
It's going to go.
Now look, calm down, Sam.
The devil would calm me down, you hear me?
I'm not listening to you anymore. You did it. You wouldn't let me open those gates when I still could, and now it's too late.
It's too late. Do you hear what I'm telling you?
I hear you.
It's gonna bust, Mr. Cutler.
It's gonna bust. And it's on your head. Your head, not mine.
He kept saying if they opened the spillway, it would ruin the fishing. I asked about that last time, but just like he's doing with everybody else in town, he didn't answer me. Really, if they get to the actual shore, they're in the best possible place to ride this out. Everybody else they know, not so much. This is a little confusing. The long shots suggest that Sam is still on top of the dam and his Jeep is stuck. But he was chasing everybody, including himself, off the dam. It's impossible to tell where that switch is, but if it's anywhere except at one of the extreme ends of the dam, I doubt they could have found a stupider place to put it. What's the basic principle in a crisis? Take care of yourself first, then help others. It looked like that's what he was doing, but now he's somewhere right in the path of the impending collapse. Steve has to get him out of there. No, not like that. I still don't understand how he got where he was. It's as though he was driving across the dam instead of taking the shortest path off of it. It feels contrived so we can have our first tragedy. That's Andy, by the way. He spends most of his time by himself. In part 1, we saw that he's the only kid in town who can genuinely say a dam jumped up and hit him.
How much time before the water reaches town? How much time does everybody have?
I don't know. It depends. We'll hear it first. Like the sound of a giant waterfall, they say.
Larry! Is
Where's
Andy
Andy?
here? We looked for him. We can't find him.
Well, I'm going to.
Yeah, have fun with that. Andy is doing a fair job of taking care of himself. Smart move. Besides the obvious danger from the water, the debris that it carries is just as dangerous and destructive. I think I've told this story before, but when we lived in Wyoming, my family went on a hike in a wilderness area. I had my fishing rod with me, and at some point I stepped onto a nice big rock a few feet into the stream. I was in the zone, casting and watching, but suddenly the sound of the water changed. I didn't realize that there had been some big storms up in the mountains and a flash flood was coming my way. The water around me turned muddy and I realized what was happening. I looked upstream and I swear, a tree stump the size of a Volkswagen was bearing down on me. A little rise in the water I could handle. That thing? I hopped off my rock and scrambled to about 20 feet from the creek bank. Andy's watching tons of rock and dirt go by under him, which is to say pieces of the dam. It's a good thing that he didn't try to go home, because when a big chunk of material slams into a house, the house loses. A tree doesn't have a roof that can come crashing down on you. Andy made a good choice.
Abby Adams never got here, did she?
That's Daisy, Steve's girl. Fans of the channel know Francine York from Batman and Lost in Space, among others. She was an incredibly popular character actor for decades.
I wonder where he is.
Who?
Andy.
He'll have sense enough to get to high ground.
He's wearing my red scarf.
What's that supposed to mean?
It's my kid brother. He was the same age. We were hiking in the Sierras. This greenhorn got into trouble and I got us involved. We helped this half-wit, this greenhorn, and the kid went over the edge.
That explains several things, including why he let Andy keep it longer. The two kids aren't that different. They land at the hospital with a load of injured people. The inundation is happening just like Paul said.
Abby Adams might be trapped in her house. Dr. Horn wants us to go and try to find her.
Was that Sam's wife? Okay, I'll crank her up.
It's pretty well the only way to reach anywhere right now. I think Steve forgot about things like negotiating for gas.
Abby's house should be about there, right?
I think so. I can't tell.
There!
That is the most animated I've ever seen Carol Lindley. All it took was drowning while pregnant. Who knew? Steve has to get as close as he can to landing on the roof so Paul and Mary can climb out and make their way into the house. The stunts during these sequences are pretty amazing. You believe everything that's happening on the screen.
Stand by, will you? We may need you.
The big question is, will he be washed downstream before they need him?
Let's try the kitchen.
Answer? No. They'll load her into that guy's boat and make their way to the hospital. Paul takes a moment to wave Steve off. He'll go look for Andy. Speaking of whom, remember that tree he was in? Yeah, now it's a raft. If he could figure out how to steer it, he could use it as a jousting lance. I think he'd settle for using it as a pole vault to get him to shore.
Mr. Brannigan!
He missed him by inches. I did not see that coming. A bit of an Irwin Allen twist. I'm not sure what she had in mind, but I am sure that wasn't it. Poor Alice. She never realized that that wasn't Andy. Based on what we learned about her, it wouldn't have mattered. She still would have tried.
Abby?
Yeah, she's okay. Paul's bringing her in now.
Well, we didn't make it to San Francisco, did we?
No, not even to Lincoln.
Some other time, maybe, huh?
Miss Nightingale, you're beautiful.
No, her name is Francine, not Florence. Abby comes in and they rush her into a room.
Nice flying.
Do it every time a dam breaks. You got any problems?
Oh, Mary and I specialize in second-story work.
Have you seen my mother?
No, we haven't.
You are not my mother. You are a... Wait, that was something else.
Right, Mary. The dam at the lake. We have to open the spill gates.
Come on.
Andy. I knew he'd make it back.
Come on.
I knew he would. I knew he would.
I said it in part 1, but I'll say it again. If Richard Basehart didn't at least get nominated for a whole slew of awards, justice is a thing of the past. That man is as broken as anyone we will ever see. He was the perfect choice for the role. According to his family, he didn't like working with Irwin Allen. May I say, we're all glad he bit the bullet and did it anyway.
Tommy, are you all right?
Yeah, I'm okay.
What happened?
Mr. Marshall pulled me out, but Mrs. Cutler, she thought I was Andy. She went in to help me. She went under and didn't come up.
There's a kid who's going to be scarred for life. Therapy for something like that didn't exist in 1976 either. Between still reeling from Watergate, trying to deal with losing the Vietnam War, and trying to have a bicentennial celebration, there wasn't a whole lot of time to talk about things like PTSD in children.
Oh, Paul, someone outside was saying the water in town isn't running off the way it should.
Anyone who's trapped is gonna stay trapped.
Yeah, if they're still alive.
Must be that bridge. Flood debris stacked against it like a cork in the neck of a bottle.
A little dynamite in the right place ought to break it up.
There's a rock quarry on the next ridge to the west. They should have dynamite and blasting caps. It'd be an easy hop for your bird.
What are we waiting for? Let's go!
Paul, it's Mrs. Cutler's. Tommy Lohman just gave it to me. He saw her go under and drowned. You'll have to tell Mary.
Or let's not go yet. I think Mary's gonna need Paul.
You better let Daisy do it if you want to clear this bridge.
I'll take it. You go on and do what you have to do.
Then again, I could be mistaken. I think somebody needs to start watching Mary. That affect says something may have snapped in her, too.
Is there anything I can do?
Or have you seen Emma?
No, I haven't, Mr. Cutler.
Would you call her at City Hall? Tell her she shouldn't wait too long.
Yes, I'll call her and I'll tell her that you're worried.
I recommend Daisy stay close by because Mary's starting to worry me. Steve and Paul have procured the dynamite they need, and there's a dry field on the other side of the bridge where they can land. They have their plan, but there's something they don't know. Andy's tree has reached the bridge and he's pinned behind it. When the dynamite blows, I'm sure it'll free him. Too bad being free in 100 little red pieces isn't what he had in mind.
Brannigan, help me, I'm stuck.
What do you think?
I think we should have tested a piece of this fuse to see how long it's going to take 20 feet to burn.
You don't know?
Well, how long it'll take you to get that bird 500 feet up in the air and away?
70 seconds, aggregate? How come we only have 20 feet of fuse?
Because that's all there was. I'll put this charge under the bridge. You put that one in the rafters.
Andy is buried so deep in the mess that nobody can see or hear him. He only has one chance.
Let's go.
The scarf.
It's that kid!
He's waving a white flag, a red scarf. We have just enough time for a dramatic last-second escape.
Here, give me his hand.
Paul was able to stop the fuse going to the rafters, but the other one is making its way down to the dynamite he planted. I suggest you boys move. I'm fairly certain we don't intend to blow Andy up. Then again, I was fairly certain we wouldn't drown his mother either. The rescue is appropriately tense, and the music keeps our minds racing. I don't often talk about the music in these shows, but there are certain points where things wouldn't be the same without it. This is one of those points.
How you doing, kiddo?
Pretty good.
Just think, without Brannigan's scarf, Andy would have been part of that. It saved his life. So you know what Steve has to do.
You know, she climbs real good for a beautiful lady.
Sorry, I got your scarf wet.
You keep it, it's yours.
Andy doesn't know yet that he's lost both parents, one to the floodwaters and the other to the ravages of his own mind. He's going to need a lot of solid, caring adults around him to get through all this. Steve doesn't like to admit it, but he fits that description. My man, you know this kid has captured your heart and you're ready to do anything for him. It may be embarrassing to you, but just go with it.
Has she been told about Sam yet?
No. But maybe having the baby will help when they tell her.
And maybe it'll make her freak out when she realizes that suddenly she's a single parent. Think about what she's been through. Then think very carefully about how you intend to tell her. What? I can dislike her overall performance, but I'm not cruel.
Hi, Dad.
Oh, son. Where have you been? I've been looking for you and for the rest of the kids.
Dad, now that Andy's back, will you lie down for a while?
I admit, when I saw the way Mary took her mother's shawl, I was afraid she was going to beat her dad over the head with it, so to speak. But she's not cruel either.
A few hours pass, and everything's gone. How do we put things back together again? How can my father?
I don't know. It's going to take some time.
They'll do it the same way we humans tackle any impossibly huge task. Assign it to a committee. Wait, that's not right. They'll break it down into steps and rebuild one stick at a time, including that bridge they blew up. Somebody's going to be needing to use it.
You could do it, Paul, without anybody's help, couldn't you? Dad can't. He's going to need help. He's going to need me. And Andy, too. Andy's going to need me, too.
You mean we'd better postpone September.
Bad idea. Go ahead and tie the knot now, because John and Andy are going to need both of them and more. The more they can provide a united, stable home for them, the better off everyone is going to be. I would say if they don't want to fiddle with a formal wedding right now, just go ahead and move in together. But decent people didn't do that in 1976. Only women of questionable morals gave it away without a ring. Mary is not a hussy. The big thing to notice about that attitude is, what about the guy? What about his morals? But that was different. Guys were supposed to sow their wild oats. Now, if all the women are good, prim, proper, moral people, how are the guys supposed to do that? And most guys didn't want to marry a woman who had been someone else's conquest. As Josh McDowell once said, they don't like used furniture, but they love to be in the antiquing business. Today, things are reaching more of a balance, but there's still a big disparity between how society views women versus men. Paul and Mary can quietly elope and then come home and take care of business.
Hey, partner. Your medicine and supplies are in Lincoln. They ain't doing us any good there.
Steve, I really am sorry about San Francisco.
San Francisco will always be there. We'll get to it.
Hopefully they got there before the 1989 World Series happened, because a huge earthquake made a mess of things. Maybe they should think about going to Vegas instead. Now, that wouldn't work for Steve. Way too many wedding chapels around to give Daisy ideas. We end with Steve and Paul flying over the flooded town, discussing what it's going to take to recover. Whatever it takes, Steve is all in. No more Mr. Standoff. The movie is fairly cliched as far as the disaster itself, but I knew we were departing from the usual fare when Sam died. He has a wife about to give birth and we kill him off? That just isn't done. But Irwin did it with a great big neener to the usual conventions. That was one of the things that made people enjoy his creations. You never knew when he was going to turn convention on its head and do something totally out there. It's the kind of thing that kept us watching his TV series, his movies, almost anything he put out there. He was a genuine force in Hollywood, and the industry often made fun of him for it, while continuing to fund his projects, because they knew that while they were chiding him, we were watching him. That meant the green stuff that you put in your wallet. Even the super geniuses in charge of Hollywood couldn't argue with that. I liked it. The situation, the effects, and the people were believable, even Abby. This was actually the best performance I ever saw her give. Robert Culp was perfect. I didn't talk much about Martin Milner as Paul, but I didn't see much need. He made the role his own, and none of us questioned him. But once again, my award for the most amazing performance has to go to Richard Basehart. I can't think of much more to say about him. Absolutely awe-inspiring. Thank you for joining me on this escapade. I hope you had as much fun as I did. I haven't really looked ahead yet, but I know Irwin made several more TV movies. What I have to decide now is, do I stick with those, or do I shoehorn his feature films into the sequence? All I can say is, stay tuned, that way we can all be surprised. Remember to like the video, and if you're not subscribed yet, the buttons are over there somewhere, I think. If you want to become a patron, the link is in the description. You folks are truly the best. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.